Ready for the video?
Yes, I am.
Let's rock and roll.
It means you're not yet spiritual. You have no possibility.
I like that.
I love that too.
Then you just don't know what it
That is a great take.
This is coming from absolute ignorance.
Well, I still don't know if there are female gurus. I love that.
Present practice. What's conscious? This is Vish and
Sierra,
and today we'll be responding to Sadhguru's video on
can a woman be a guru?
My name is Vish. I'm an aspiring yogi, love all things meditation, yoga, and wisdom based. Super grateful to have Sierra on the show. Want to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Sierra. I'm from the San Francisco Bay Area, currently living in Austin, Texas. I am a project manager by day, crypto enthusiast by night, and I also run a spirituality account.
Thank you so much for being here, Sierra. Have you ever heard of a woman guru before?
I have not.
I have not either. With that,
Let's get into it.
let's get into it.
Some female spiritual leaders have said that it is better for a woman to seek a female guru. Is it so?
It's better. They say that? Okay. Now, one thing, if you're still a female or a male, it means you're not yet spiritual. And especially if you're still seeing a guru as a male or as a female, you have no possibility.
I like that.
I love that too.
You are still not able to disidentify yourself with your body parts, it's okay. If you're still identifying your guru also with his body parts or her body parts, then you just don't know what it
That is a great take.
This is coming from absolute ignorance. This is a reaction to thousands of years of being downtrodden. Socially may be correct, spiritually not relevant. If you look at your guru either as a man or a woman, you'll miss the whole point.
Sierra, let's talk about it. What'd you think?
Well, I still don't know if there are female gurus.
So do you think the answer wasn't given directly in this video?
Yeah, I don't feel like I got that answer, but I really respect and enjoyed and understood what he said as far as like whether you're looking at your spiritual leader's gender, it's not really about that, especially when you're coming at it from this spiritual perspective and or, you know, wanting to work on that realm of yourself, so.
100%, and I would also agree it wasn't directly answered, but again, this is maybe a really cool example of him kind of talking around the question, but still providing, I would say, very relevant light. As you just said, it's really not about the gender or color or whatever. In fact, he even made another video where I think he was asked, does skin color matter for spirituality? And he initially started joking by saying, yeah, this skin is the best color. But again, it was just a joke. But then he said, yeah, it's really a very surface level thing. Like he even said it's a very, very surface level thing, right? Like surface on surface on surface. So I would also agree. I think that's not too important, and it's a really cool take. I think, right? Like he's dodging the question, but giving you more of a meaningful answer. But yeah, I also felt the same way in the sense that I don't know if there are women gurus. Have you ever heard of any yourself, or?
No, yeah.
And that is. Because I guess just, I mean, if we were to, again, I know it's maybe it's doing a little disservice to what he just said in the video, but if I were to think, and maybe I'll have to do a Google search on this, I don't know, but I really don't know if I have heard of any women gurus, right? I know women that are spiritual and maybe are spiritual teachers per se, but have never seen a woman guru. Any thoughts on why that could be, or what's going through your mind with that?
I guess the first thing that comes to mind is just like historically, men are always in, or were the ones mainly in positions of leadership, or especially when that comes to religion or whatever that may be.
That's a good example too.
Yeah, just like women had different roles as we evolved. So that's why I was like, I wonder if a woman has ever studied to be a guru. But on the other hand, I can relate to the question as far as just being a female. It can be really insightful, and you can learn a lot more or get more out of an experience if you are working with someone of the same gender. I guess this just kind of reminds me as far as like therapy or things along that nature. There's just certain things that women can connect on and understand a little bit better than men. So
that is a great point there. And want to tell us a bit more about, I know you're working with raising awareness, right, to bring more women into the crypto space. I think that definitely connects what we just talked about. So tell us more about what you're doing and what that's about.
Yeah, totally. So I have been in the crypto space for a year or so now and just noticed the lack of females. And I just really wanted to bring more women into the space. So with my account Crypto Booty, which hopefully we'll link below, I'm just trying to put a little bit more tools and resources out there and just really make it fun and encourage people to get into crypto, because once you can kind of get over that initial barrier of like the terms and get a general understanding for what's going on, it's actually a lot of fun. So
there we go. And I'm curious, I guess, going a bit deeper into what you're doing, and I love the work, by the way. Why do you think that is? Again, you kind of touched on it, but let's dive a bit more deeper into that. Why do you think there aren't as many women in the crypto space?
For sure. So crypto, as I'm sure you all know, is generally finance and tech. And still to this day, the tech and finance industries are dominated by males. I mean, you can just take a look at Wall Street, and really almost any tech company of like developers and coders are generally not female. So it's just kind of a space that it doesn't really shut them out or not encourage them to join. I would say just like naturally, it hasn't really evolved to be like a female dominant space.
Absolutely. And tying that into, I guess, this whole like guru thing as well, I think it's a very similar parallel here, right? In the sense that I don't think there's a discrimination or like a rule per se that women can't be gurus or can't be spiritual. But I just think, looking at it from the cultural context as well as social context, because women have different roles, right, over time, especially in the past, where, especially now, I think Sadhguru talks about it, but technology has actually leveled out the playing field quite a bit, right? So now it's not about your muscle and your body, it's about your mind. And so I think it's very relevant, very possible for women to get involved at similar work. But the key is in historical context, because of the differences in roles, I just think it was natural, right, for women to not be in that role. And I don't think it should be viewed as a discriminatory thing or anything like that. What's your take, being a woman yourself, about what I just shared?
Yeah, I mean, what comes to my mind is the general archetypes of the masculine and feminine, and just in general, or what they say, obviously this doesn't apply to everyone, but the feminine is more flow and creativity, and finance and tech are generally more numbers structured. So it's just, I think that they naturally, like finance and tech kind of goes into that. But in regards to spirituality, I think that really doesn't really fall into, it could be either one. So
I love that perspective as well. And connecting this to, let me ask you this, what does a guru even mean to you?
Oh man, I couldn't probably give you an accurate definition, but to me it just means a spiritual leader, or somebody, maybe not even spiritual leader, just a leader, and somebody who's super knowledgeable and insightful and has wisdom on whatever topic they are a guru in.
Thank you for sharing that, Sierra. And I will say this, and I know you're very open-minded here and you have a spiritual background, which is why I'm being more direct with you. But from what I've heard, and again, the term guru itself, it does come from the Eastern area. And I would say just like yoga, remember how I told you so we talked about what yoga means in the other video, and the word guru I almost feel like has been overused too, and like maybe misused. And again, it's not about that, like what we at least feel with the yogic context and the yogic culture, background per se, we don't care about cultural appropriation, although that's something that does happen. It's not about the sensitivity aspect of that. It's just that if you were to do something and use something in the wrong way, it could just do more harm than good. And the reason I'm saying that is a quick connection to actually yoga. In fact, as Sadhguru says, it's not that it's good or bad per se, but as he has seen in the Western yoga, especially with, for example, hot yoga, which I was doing quite a bit in the past, which I still enjoyed, but apparently doing yoga is a very, let's just call it with lack of a better word, serious thing. And the reason I say that is, for example, even when meditating, he says that when your fingers are in this way versus this way, it actually has a very profound impact on your system. And I don't think, and I've seen these studios, I don't think it's really being looked at that level, right? And the problem there is that because it's just being overused, in fact, we look at yoga today as primarily physical, which it's not really not, it could lead to more harm than good is what he says. And so the same principle applies to the guru word. Not that, again, I'm trying to be this, like, let's just say a word warrior of like, you can't say this, you can't say that. I'm not trying to come off that way, but I still do think it's important to be conscious of what we're saying. And I don't think it's maybe the best thing to just say, oh yeah, I'm a guru of this, I'm a guru of that. And especially when it comes from a very sacred context. What's going through your mind? We'd love to hear your honest perspective on what I just shared.
Totally. It just makes me think that I guess I would associate the word guru with expert. And when someone claims themselves or puts themselves out in the world as an expert in something, there comes with a lot of social responsibility behind that anything they teach or share is going to be for the betterment of who's ever listening. And, I guess it can be a little bit dangerous using heavy terms like that if people aren't using their power or expertise carefully and keeping everyone safe.
Most definitely. I guess another example would be, you did mention you used to have a Christian background, is that right?
A little bit, yeah.
What denomination was that?
Just nothing really specific, kind of just general Baptist.
Okay. So I guess just one example which I just thought of, maybe it's not the best example, but just something to connect would be maybe the Pope. I know it's more in Catholicism, but imagine being like using the word Pope to the point where I'm like, I'm a Pope of this, I'm a Pope of that. Notice how that would be a little not appreciated by people of that background.
Yeah, totally.
So the key here is, again, not that we would care about it at that level of like, oh, we're offended, but it's the wrong usage. So I do want to thank you, Sierra, for being here and just being so open to what I have to share, as well as the video itself. I think it was really neat. Remind the viewers where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at lewa.lani or on TikTok at cryptobooty.
All of our stuff will be down below. And if you have any other video reaction requests or topic requests or guests that you want to see on the show, you can also comment down below. And if you've made it this far, we'd definitely appreciate you hitting that subscribe button and the like button. With that, make it a great day, take it joyful, and stay conscious. Awesome job, Sierra.
Thank you.
Great. Perfect.